Save.
Welcome to the WNBA Halftime Report, presented by State Farm.
Inside our WNBA studios, alongside the Hall of Famer Cynthia Cooper, John Brickley with you. The Sparks comfortably ahead of the Mercury at the break, 44-32. We've got 1 month to go in the regular season, Coop, and we've got a playoff picture really starting to form. Let's pick up with some highlights around the league, starting with the Mystics, fighting for the #1 seed, taking on the Fever tonight in the third. Who else but Elena Delle Donne?
Elena is just great inside-outside player. She can play with her back to the basket or knock down the jumper. And
in the fourth, Natasha Cloud misses the transition basket. Ariel Powers there with the tremendous rebound and one. That would put Washington up by 17, but it was all about Delle Donne in this game. She had a game-high 22 points. Mystics, the 11th time this year they have scored at least 90 points in their victory taking down Indiana. Storm and the Wings. First quarter, Kayla Thornton. Three-pointer that goes down to extend the lead for Dallas. But in the second, what a season Arike Ogunbowale is having.
I mean, Rookie of the Year numbers. She is just a prolific scorer and a great leader.
Surprising score at the break with Dallas on top by 1 over Seattle. Now, if the playoffs were to start today, this is what the playoff situation would look like based on the current standings. You'd have the Sun and the Mystics earning the double bye with the top 2 seeds, and you'd have an LA team that's been red hot, winners of 9 of their last 11, earning a bye with the #4 seed. But there's a lot of teams, especially in the lower portion of that bracket, Cynthia, that you like. Who's that sleeper team we should be watching out for?
I'd say the sleeper team for me has to be the Minnesota Lynx. They have tons of playoff experience. They have Simone Augustus back. They have Big Seal anchor in the middle. You have Timmy is back from her trip with England. And then you have players like Nafisa Collier, who's really she has some Rookie of the Year numbers.
Team that's 500 right now in the #8 seed, but we'll see how well this team can play over the next 4 games against Washington and Connecticut coming up. Now, if we go back in time, if there was a finals matchup I would pay to see, it'd be the 97 year Comets and the Liberty. I know I'm going to get in hot water with Lobo, but if there was a finals matchup this year that you would pay to see, who would it be, Coop?
It had to be the Mystics and the Las Vegas Aces. You know, some new blood in the finals. I'd love to see how the Mystics, they came close a year or so ago, but you have Elena Delle Donne and Christy Tolliver. I think they're hungry for another championship. They play well together, and I just think I feel the energy right from the beginning of the season. And then you have the Aces with, Asia, with Liz Cambage. They just have a great young crew that I think brings some great energy to the playoffs.
And I know fans would love to see a matchup between Elena Delle Donne and Asia Wilson. Between the Aces and the Mystics, who would you take to win it all this year in the WNBA?
I think hunger rules all. When you have that chip on your shoulder, I'm going to take the Mystics. I think they came close. They had a taste of it, and they won it again. And so they started off the season really well. They had some ups and downs. The season is about runs. But I think when you have an anchor like Elena Delle Donne, you have to be ready to fight for a championship.
All right, so a Washington team. Connecticut, though, they've got the best record right now. A Sparks team starting to contend. But right now, for Coop, it's all about the Washington Mystics. Speaking of teams like the Sparks, they've got one clutch player in Chelsea Gray. You talk about a player that's had significant moments. We'll touch upon some of the great moments of her young career in the WNBA.
This halftime is presented by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM.